Good morning, students all. In the last class, we discussed about Fleming's right hand rule. What Fleming's right hand rule is saying, stretch central finger, forefinger, and thumb of your right hand in three mutually perpendicular directions. If forefinger is indicating the field, thumb is indicating motion of the conductor, then central finger will indicate the direction of the induced current. That is Fleming's right hand rule. For example, here one conductor is there. It is moving like this. Here magnetic field is applied. This magnetic field will be cross field. Understanding? So, what is the forefinger direction field? That is into the plane of the paper. Thumb direction representing the motion of the conductor. Central finger direction will represent induced current direction. So, current in this will be in the upward direction. Clear? So, in this manner, so this rod will behave as a battery having positive terminal here, negative terminal here. It will send the current in the circuit like this. Clear? In this way we have to use. Stretch three fingers. This is field direction. This is motion of the conductor. This will indicate the direction of the induced current. Next, after finishing of this, what is the relation between induced charge and magnetic flux? Relation between induced charge and magnetic flux. Simple only. For 2 marks this is important. We know E is equal to minus d pi by dt. Induced EMF. Its value E is equal to minus d pi by dt. Understanding? Here E is what? EMF, potential difference, all will be same. So in the place of E, we can write I into R. So IR is equal to minus d pi by dt. I is equal to minus 1 by R into d pi by dt. But we know I is equal to dq by dt. I value will be. So what we can write here, dq by dt is equal to minus 1 by R into d pi by dt. dt will cancel. So dq is equal to minus d pi by R. So dq will be called here induced charge. D pi will be the magnetic flux. So relation between magnetic flux and induced charge is dq is equal to minus d pi by R. R is resistance. Okay. Next, after finishing of this, we will discuss what is meant by, what are eddy currents. We will discuss about this. Okay, what are eddy currents? One big metal block we are taking, one big metal block. There we are creating in this region varying magnetic field we will create. So varying time varying magnetic field means magnetic induction is not same. Magnetic induction is continuously varying. That magnetic field we are creating here. Then what happens in this? Currents will be generated. That current will be in the form of circular loops. That is in the form of eddies. In water, eddies and vortices will be formed. Just like it will be called sudi, like that we can call it as in water. Means their water will be circulating some place in the where, some place in river or where there in sea. If you went into that, it will be attracted all the objects towards it. Those are called eddies. Vortices also little bit in the same manner it will be there. These currents also is in the form of eddies which are forming in the water. That's why these are called eddy currents. So water eddy currents means how we will define on a big block, on a big massive block, if we apply time varying magnetic field, means varying magnetic field, if we apply, circular currents will be produced in that metal block. Those currents are called as the eddy currents. Okay, writing that these are the currents produced in a massive conductors placed in a varying magnetic field. These are the currents produced in a massive conductor placed in a varying magnetic field. Okay. Next, what are the uses of this eddy currents? Means some uses will be there, some disadvantages will be there. What are the uses of this? Means what are the uses? Means magnetic braking of the trains. This is one concept. We can't stop the train suddenly. We can't apply the brake just like car and bus. We can't stop the train suddenly. Slowly it should stop, and finally slowly brakes will apply. Suddenly brakes are applied due to inertia, remaining bogies will lift into the air. So that's why what they will do, slowly they will, when station is coming, slowly they will apply the brakes and at the station they will try to stop the train. So if magnetic brakings are there in the trains, so when wheels are rotating, in that currents will be produced. One type of concept this is. Because of that we can stop all wheels simultaneously. We can stop all wheels simultaneously. That is one technique. That is magnetic braking of the trains. We are now, no one is using this one in bullet trains, very fast moving trains, somewhere we will found in foreign countries. There they are using these techniques, eddy currents technique, to stop the train instantaneously. Okay, all wheel brakes will be applied, all for all bogies. If driver applies the brakes, all wheels brake will be applied simultaneously, so train will stop. These eddy currents will be useful. Eddy currents will try to stop the wheels of the train. Next, induction furnace. Furnace means to melt anything, we will use the furnace. Some big furnaces, very large metal blocks are there. To melt that, they will use high induction varying magnetic fields. Because of that, easily anything will melt. Because in that one big block is there, time varying magnetic field is applied. In that, currents will be produced. Because of that current, heat will be produced. Because of that heat, that metal block will melt. So furnace use will be to melt the things. So there, if we use the concept of induction, means time varying magnetic field of high induction, if we use, then easily anything will melt. Induction furnaces also, these eddy currents will be helpful to melt the big metal blocks. Next, third one, electromagnetic damping. Electromagnetic damping means we studied in the previous chapter, moving coil galvanometer we studied. In that one coil will be there like this. It is placed between two poles of the horseshoe magnet. When current entered into the coil, this coil will rotate. When current entered into the coil, this coil will rotate. Basing on that deflection, we will find how much current is there entered into the coil. We can calculate I proportional to theta. That is the concept of moving coil galvanometer. So once it is rotated, this coil, if we remove the magnetic field, it won't come suddenly to rest. It will oscillate for some time and then it will comes to rest. If electromagnetic damping is there, present there, it is there like this. Current entered, it turned like this. If stops, it will come to rest suddenly, understanding to its mean position. Or otherwise what will happen, it will oscillate 1 or 2 minutes and then it will comes to rest. So there electromagnetic damping is useful to stop these things. There also eddy currents will be helpful. Next, electric power meters will be there to find the speed of the vehicles. These eddy currents will be useful. So power meters are useful, speedometers are nothing but different types of meters. There also eddy currents will be helpful to find the speed of the vehicle. So circulating currents are produced in big massive blocks. When time varying magnetic field is applied on the blocks are called eddy currents. Uses of them will be magnetic braking of trains, induction furnaces, electromagnetic damping, electric power meters. these eddy currents will be useful for that devices. Next, what are the disadvantages of the eddy currents? What are the disadvantages? Disadvantages what are means, because of the eddy current, large amount of heat will be produced in the devices. Because of that heat, some insulation for that devices will also gone. So around that device one plastic coating will be there, one electrical wire is there, and that one plastic coating will be there. If you hold the wire also, nothing will happen. Understanding? So because of this eddy currents in some electrical devices, that insulation will also gone due to high amount of heat energy. So more amount of energy is wasted. So disadvantages means more amount of heat energy produced in the electrical device. More amount of heat energy will produced in the electrical device due to eddy currents. Sometimes these eddy currents will damage that electrical devices also. Next, second one, same type it will be there. Transformers, dynamos, will break their or will lose their insulation due to eddy currents. Due to eddy currents in the transformers and in the dynamos, they will lose their insulation part, means that plastic part they will lose due to eddy currents. Next, after finishing of this, let us see what is meant by self-induction. What is meant by self-induction? Due to the variation of current, due to the variation of current in a circuit, variation of current in the circuit, and EMF will develop in the circuit. Due to the variation of current in a circuit, in the same circuit EMF will be developed. This phenomenon is called self-induction. Means current flowing through a circuit is varying. Then some back EMF will be created in that circuit. That is called as the self-induction. Understanding? So what is the formula for this self-inductance? And how we will define the self-inductance, let us see. If you take any coil or any solenoid, the flux linked with that coil is directly proportional to the current flowing through the coil. So, flux linked with the coil is directly proportional to current flowing through the coil. Then pi is equal to some constant L into I, where L is called as the coefficient of self-induction, or we can call it as self-inductance. Coefficient of self-induction or self-inductance, L value will be. And we know the formula E is equal to minus d pi by dt. From this, L is equal to how much? Pi by I. We know Faraday's law, E is equal to minus d pi by dt. So this is equal to minus d by dt of pi is equal to L into I. So this value minus L into di by dt. From this, L value is equal to how much? Negative sign is indicating EMF is opposite to that. No need to consider this negative sign. Then L is equal to E by di by dt. Using these two formulae, we can define self-inductance. How we will define? See. Next, coefficient of self-induction or self-inductance. Coefficient of self-induction or self-inductance. Here I is equal to 1, then pi is equal to L. So when current flowing through a coil is unity, the magnetic flux developed in the coil is called self-inductance. When current flowing through a coil is unity, the flux developed in the coil is called its self-inductance. Coils will have self-inductance. Understand? Using this, when rate of change of current in a coil is unity, the EMF developed in the coil is called its self-inductance. When another definition is what? When rate of change of current in a coil is unity, the EMF developed in the coil is called its self inductance. Like this also we can define the self inductance. Clear? Now what is the units of this self inductance? See, two formulas are there na? L is equal to pi by I, L is equal to E by di by dt. Pi is magnetic flux, unit will be Weber. Current ampere, so Weber per ampere will be the SI unit. Or using this, EMF means volt, this is ampere by second, ampere by second. So how much this value will be? Volt second per ampere. Volt second per ampere will be the one unit, another one will be Weber per ampere will be the another unit for coefficient of self induction. Next, after finishing of this, let us see, next topic will be self inductance of a solenoid. For this, magnetic induction due to a solenoid is required. In the previous chapter means moving charges and magnetism. In that those are came magnetic induction due to a solenoid, magnetic induction due to a toroid we calculated. What is the formula? That is mu naught Ni. N is the number of turns per unit length. I is the current. Then what is meant by solenoid? Solenoid means one plastic pipe. Plastic is insulator, na? We are using pipes. One plastic pipe. On that pipe, a metal wire is wrapped like this. A metal wire is wounded on it. Then it will be called as the solenoid on a non-conducting frame. A cylindrical frame, non-conducting cylindrical frame. If a metal wire is wrapped, then that arrangement will be called as the solenoid. Clear? I am considering a long solenoid of length L, okay, and number of turns capital N. We considered a long solenoid of length L and capital N be the number of turns. Okay. Consider a long solenoid of length L having capital N turns. Next, let I be the current flowing through solenoid. How much current is flowing? I am assuming I is the current flowing through the solenoid. If let small n be the number of turns per unit length, small n be the number of turns per unit length. Okay, if pi is the magnetic flux linked with each turn. Pi is the magnetic flux linked with each turn. Here totally how many turns are there? Capital N turns are there. Then what we can write here is N pi means total flux is equal to L into I. Pi is equal to Li. Only one turn is there. If capital N turns are there, N pi is equal to Li. Okay. Then L value will be how much from this? N pi by I. Let it be equation 1. N pi by I. Then we'll do one thing. Since pi is equal to BA, L is equal to NBA by I. Here B value will be how much means mu naught Ni. So this is N into mu naught Ni into A by L. Capital N into mu naught Ni into A by L. Okay. So I minus this I will cancel. This small n means capital N by L. So L is equal to capital N mu naught Na by L. This n place we are writing capital N by L. So how much this value will be? Mu naught N square A by L. So what is the formula for self-inductance of a solenoid? L is equal to mu naught N square by L. What is capital L here? Self-inductance. Capital N, number of turns. A will be area of the cross section. L will be length of the solenoid. If any conducting material is placed inside the solenoid, this is solenoid, na? I inserted one metal rod in it. Then this L value will be equal to mu naught mu r N square A by L. Okay. Mu naught mu r N square A by L. This is self-inductance of a solenoid. So in this class up to now what we discussed, relation between induced charge and magnetic flux we discussed. Later, what are eddy currents, what are the uses of the eddy currents, what are the disadvantage of the eddy currents we discussed. Next, what is meant by self-induction? Self-induction means what? Current flowing through a circuit is varies, changing. Then in the same circuit again EMF will be generated. That phenomenon is called self-induction. What is meant by self-inductance we discussed. Next, self-inductance of a solenoid is completed. Okay, still 2 lectures are required. Next, mutual induction will be there. Next, AC generator will be there. With that, still in 2 lectures this chapter will complete, small chapter only. After that, problems will be there, maximum 1 or 2 lectures. Totally, still in 4 lectures we can able to finish this lesson. Okay.